whether I'm doing a square cut, a hard angle cut, a speed cut, okay? I'm getting here. I've gotten to this point here. I've loaded up. Now I want to elbow jam with my inside elbow jam, okay? That's going to help me. That's going to help me open up and come run and reduce, get friendly to the quarterback, whatever term you guys use, that make sure that you don't round it too much. So elbow jam is the term that I use, and we are here. Elbow jam will help you open up as you're running your route at the top, okay? So this is that radical change, okay? It is literally you are running as hard as you can, okay? And then you have to essentially stop and come back the other way. So same deal though, as you approach your break point, that first step and that 3-step break, okay, is kind of that half stride, okay? Come to balance. Now you got your stick, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, okay? A drill I like to do here, I want you first to notice how many times I hit the bag from where I was at, okay? I did play quarterback in high school, so don't be too surprised, but just notice that, okay? Yes, I'm patting my own self on the back, right? So what we're working here is coming back to the ball, but you can still see here, let's look at his feet. This ain't bad, this is not bad here. You see it gets to the top, plant, coming back down. Right? How often have you guys seen somebody who does this and then that inside foot comes to there? We do not want that foot to come to there because that's when you end up running around the house, okay? I'll talk about guys, we're not running around the house, we run through the house, okay? And then we're trying to talk about the importance of coming back to the ball, right? You guys have all seen it. Somebody runs a curl route and they just sit there and then the DB is able to come and break up the pass. I'll never forget this when I was with the St. Louis Rams. Okay, I did this. I did this and I sat. I was feeling great. I was wide open. I didn't come back to the ball. Okay, the freaking ball got picked, and the coaches were just Scott Linehan like wore me out. I felt like a sucker for the rest of the practice. So this is something that we are trying to. I'm going to throw that ball at that pad, and I want you to catch it before it gets there. That's 2 in a row, just to let you know. Okay, so let's look at the difference. You see his feet? You see that? He did not get anywhere. So let's look at. That's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, but now he needs to load up, and you also will notice his eyes. He is looking before he truly gets to the top of his break. And so when you end up looking before you get to the top of the break, his eyes are now here. His eyes are now here. You're not in as good of a power position as you need to be. That's 3. This ain't no edit either. This is right in a row. Okay, same deal. Let's look at his feet. You see that? He's running around the house. Okay, that would have been 4 for sure. He's running around the house. So he gets stuck a little bit, but he has the right idea. Okay, he does have the right idea of what I'm looking for. I just don't want him to get stuck at the top. Okay, but this is a drill that emphasizes 1, the hard angle cut, and 2, coming back to the ball on a curl route. On a curl route. Let's look at it. Not bad. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, here we go with our speed cut now, okay? Patterns in which the break point are rounded off. The receiver continued to build depth for several yards while maintaining speed and body position throughout. Must do a great job working back downhill, okay? Drifting up the field will increase chances of an injury timeout, all right? And then we have the vertical cut, which we'll talk about the vertical cut, which is more like your post, your goal, your corner, okay? So let's see. This is for the vertical cut. So on the speed cut, you had talked about, do you want to turn your toe in the direction of your going? Yes. Okay, this is the one where I am here, okay, and I ideally on my speed cut, right? I'm not breaking down. I just have that one stick. Okay, I do want to turn it, right, slightly so that I can stay tight, because if I'm here and I have not broken down, my next foot is going to go more vertical. Okay, so yes, I will be here. Okay, elbow jam, which will help me open it up. It should only take you 2 yards. If your foot's at the 10, you should only get to the 12. If you get deeper than the 12, okay, then that's too much of a rounded route for me, okay? Here's the trying to overemphasize the vertical stick. So we're just bop, 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 violent. Not too much head, because once you go against somebody who is really good and you start doing this, okay, too much of it, he knows you're coming back inside, because they're going to study you just as much as we study them. And if you're one of those guys who's doing this, because I don't know anybody that does this and then actually goes that way, right? So if they're doing too much head, right, boop, then we know that they're coming back the other way. So we eliminate that part, and also we want to look at them in the eyes, okay? This is a kind of a pre-practice, not necessarily pre-practice, but you don't want to kill you guys too much. We want to overemphasize the stick part. Okay, let's go to we'll just watch some random drills. Okay, I'll tell you what they're for, and we can talk about it. Okay, what I'm working on here is a sluggo versus press. Okay, a sluggo versus press. So I'm trying to, I'm trying not to kill myself. Okay, so I'm not going to do all of it, right? But I'm trying to give them, we got head up press. Okay, we got head up press, and what I'm looking for is a single jab out. Okay, single jab out. We've worked inside. He's kind of cut us off, so now we have to be physical at that junction point. We are going to essentially throw him by, or it becomes a chop and a whip. If you look at it, he's going to throw him by here, and he's back out setting his angle. Okay, so a sluggo versus press. Now, does it have to be like this? No, because I think that there's another way to run it as well. But let's look at it again. Single jab, sell it, boop. And you see that once again, the chop and the whip. Chop and the whip, boop, chop and the whip. And go, and let's get ready to roll. Not bad. Not bad. It can probably be a little bit more violent at the bag, right? A little bit more violent at the bag. Not bad. Not bad. Maybe just a tad too much gather. Maybe just a tad too much gather here. Boop. Okay, so let's see what we're working here. Okay, so now we're working not really press. Okay, it's not really press. It's man-to-man, but he's off. So the important thing, because this happens all the time, you've heard it say it before, be quick but not in a hurry. Guys end up trying to release too far away from him. So what we're working on is getting to him, then working either a single jab, a double jab, or a triple jab, okay? And then now we get to the safety, okay? So I'm essentially working two things here, okay? I'm essentially working two things. I'm working off man, okay, off man, and then I'm working at the top. We got the glance route, or in your RPO game, right, where you've read the conflict player, that second level defender, okay, the safety is a cover four safety. Now you got to come flat across his face in that RPO game, or that boundary glance route where the defender's sitting at 7, 8 yards, and now you have to come flat. You guys understand what I'm saying? Okay, so this is the drill that we're kind of working. We're doing two drills in one. So I like it. Get to him, boop, chop and whip, reset vertical. Now we get ready to come flat. I'm a big fan, especially, head coach is always like, hey, man, we're going to get all the individual that you need, and then you end up with 5 minutes, right? O-linemen get 68 minutes of individual, and then receivers get like 68 seconds of individual, right? So what I try to do is I try to combine drills to try to work on things. So here we go. We're working releases. We're working releases. I believe that if you stay inside of 2.5 yards of your stance. So 2.5 yards that way, 2.5 yards that way. If you get pushed outside of that 5-yard battle that we're trying to win is a little bit tougher. Not only that, the timing gets a little bit jacked up. So I have that. You see that board, and I'm sure some of the old line coaches in here, if there are any in here, I saw one of them sleep. They see that board, they probably got excited. But what we're trying to do is make sure that you don't get pushed outside of that. All right, so Coach Shiraka, our new offensive coordinator, who he's coached receivers before in the past, he had a good term that I'm going to use. When you get to this point, he wants to use what's called an express step to get back vertical, okay? And so if you kind of see here, this is express step. That right foot there is that express step that's going to push him back vertical. One thing real quick on stacking, okay? On stacking, right? You hear everybody talk it, right? Release, stack. Release, stack. To me, what does that really mean, okay? What that really means is you don't stack back to your original line of scrimmage or alignment. You don't do that. Why? What is the quarterback trying to do when you're releasing? What is the quarterback trying to do when you're running a go route? Trying to get away from the safety, but what is he trying to pick up, I guess? Your angle, your line, right? So if you end up, okay, you're releasing, right, bang, bang, you get to 7-8 yards down the field, now you're, right, he's riding you, and you're trying to stack like crazy, you've messed up the line for the quarterback, okay? And so what ends up happening, okay, you release, you're here, you stacked, okay, and that ball gets thrown way back over there. Now you just ran like at least 2 more yards more than what the DB actually had to run. So what stacking is to me is holding your line. It is holding your line. So if I'm here, I'm at this now. I'm now at this point. Ideally, I'm inside of the 2.5 yards, and now I hold my line so that the quarterback picked it up, and now I keep it here, lean, separate. That's where my separation comes. Okay. Be quick, but not in a hurry. Be quick, but not in a hurry. If you're in a hurry of when you create separation, you give the DB a chance to get back in position. Okay. This is a big route for us. We worked it quite a bit, kind of that pinwheel turn. So I'm working a double jab, chop a whip. Ooh, that's pretty good with his hands. Bam, nice and quick. Okay, reset. I like that. I can mess with that one. Okay, what does he do with his front foot? Right, we want to press vertical, okay? All right, same deal. Okay, same deal. Now we got we're going to press man. Now he's running with us. So release, lean, separate, right? Release, lean, separate. I have that board out there so that they make sure that their angle is not higher than that. A lot of guys, when they get pressed, especially in a slant route, right, they end up releasing, okay, and they end up separating, but their angle ends up being too vertical, and the DB is able to undercut it. So what I was trying to work here is making sure we're here, reset, and then flat. Another way to make sure that guys are staying inside of that 2.5 yard line is we will have a line of dudes, and if the dude comes out there, I want the rest of these guys that are lined up. I want these guys that are lined up. If he gets wider, I want them to push him down. Okay, so he comes out. I want to get him on the ground. You do not release wider. You do not release wider than 2.5 yards. Okay, and then we have a ball. You can see we have a ball at the end of it. Okay, what's that? Oh, same deal. We're just working a single jab, the 3-step release, single jab. Now we got the double jab. Okay, double jab. All right, here we go, blocking. I ain't said a word about blocking, right? All right, this is that push crack. Okay, this is that cover 4 look. Okay, or the drop down safety that drops down late. What are you trying to do? What I talk about here on my push crack, some people, depending on what's important to you, if it's important to hold off the corner as much as possible, then you will push and then crack. If that doesn't matter to you, if the whole crack replaced by the corner, if that's not important to you, you just go right now, right? Depends on how you guys want to do it as a staff. But things that I talk to my guys on the push crack is if the dude ain't looking, if he ain't looking at you, light his tail up, okay? But it used to be light him up, have your head in front. Where's his head typically at? In front, okay? So I talk about having our head behind. So when you go in there and you are essentially cracking on him, your head is now here and not in front of him, because if it is in front, what do we have? Head to head, okay? Your you're leaving yourself out for potential targeting on a play that you're definitely not targeting, but sometimes it ends up being head-to-head. So that's why we want to have my head in the back. Not only that, I'm able to protect myself from any outside. We don't want to get beat over the top typically when we are push cracking, okay? So what I'm talking to guys here, if his eyes are not on you, let's light his tail up. We still want to use our hands. This block is still important for the hands, that we are using hands so that we don't get called for a defensive player either. Now, he sees me coming. When he sees me coming, I now need to come to power, okay? Come to power and work to him, making sure that he doesn't try to juke me, right? Because if you go 100 miles an hour and that dude's looking at you, he typically is going to just avoid you and get to where he needs to be. Bang. Okay, let's see what we got here. I don't know what Six is doing right now. He must got, I don't know what he's doing. Okay, so here we go. We got a slant. Okay, we got a slant versus slightly inside. So what I want to do is I want to do a quick double jab to keep the defender there, and then I'm going to sell the vertical. He's going to open up his hips. Okay, he's going to open up his hips, and I'm going to push him by. How am I pushing him by? I'm using a chop and a whip, a chop and a whip. If you look at it at the top, right, chop and whip. Chop and whip. Bang. There's my chop, and here comes my whip, so that if the DB, as he's running, okay, push by, and then he comes back with this hand, I'm able to get that hand off as well. Chop and whip with that. Okay, obviously I don't want to stop at the top, but you understand the point. Here we go, another push-by drill. Working a release. Okay, working a release. He's running with me. He's running with me. He's on my hip. Here we go. Chop and whip. What do you call it? I heard somebody say windshield wipers, or however you want to call it. At the end of the day, it's still applicable. It's still applicable in what we do. Whoop, get to him, right? Get to him. Triple on the run or double on the run. Chop and whip. Working to him, be violent at the top. I like that. Add some sauce to it, right? Now, he was a big cone guy. He was a big cone guy, a quick feet around the cone type deal. And you can tell at the top, right? Did all them little steps, and he didn't get anywhere. Okay, so that's something that we worked on quite a bit. Okay, same deal. Add a little sauce to it. That's fine. Bang. Okay, good old distraction drill, right? How do you create more distraction drills? You get different guys set up. You can throw it in either 1, 2, or 3 window, 1, second window, or the third window. Okay, you're just working on distraction. All right. Questions? Seriously, questions? Any questions? Yes. That's what I'm saying. This is where I think somebody needs to make this. I guarantee you'll make a lot of money. Okay, my idea is like you put there's some sort of apparatus that keeps your foot in here, right? Something that keeps it in there, like a spring in the back. I'm not joking. A spring in the back, right? You got just a slight wedge there that keeps your foot up a little bit, right? And then you're to the point where you are almost falling over, and it explodes out. So you could, it's just, to me, it's just constant. That, to me, is a hard skill, right? There's hard skills and soft skills. Soft skills is getting the ball, juking somebody, right? That's something that comes kind of naturally to whoever it is. Hard skills are things that are just repped and repped and repped and repped and repped and repped. To me, this is a hard skill that you just got to be repped and repped and repped. Yep. Anything else? Appreciate you guys' time. Seriously, I have my business cards with me. Contact me anytime. If you got a dude that you also want me to evaluate, I would love to evaluate him. I love freaking watching wide receivers, a young guy, an old guy. If you have any questions about, hey, coach, what do you think is a good release here? What's a good